Story 1. A night of trespassing. Carter and I had been friends for years, despite the distance. His family had recently moved to a rural Michigan town, and our friendship remained strong. His family, whom I'd describe as somewhat rednecky, welcomed me to visit any time. We were both 19. I was in college, while Carter worked for his father, who owned a sizable property in the area. This particular fall weekend, I went up to Carter's family home. His mom and sister were away, so it was just the two of us. The drive took me over for hours through farmland and open fields, ending on a gravel road leading to their property. Carter and his dad greeted me warmly, already enjoying some beers in the backyard. After I'd brought my bag inside, I joined them. Carter began talking about the trails in the area, suggesting off-roading in my Toyota 4Runner. I'd never tried it, but was eager. Carter's dad grilled us burgers, then headed to a friend's house. Carter and I jumped into my car, him guiding me to a nearby trail suitable for off-roading. We enjoy about an hour of adventurous off-roading, and as dusk approached, we returned to the main road, feeling a bit uneasy deep in the woods. While driving around, we spotted an abandoned church-like building near a vast cornfield. Carter mentioned passing it before, but never exploring. We agreed to return later with mountain bikes from Carter's family collection, complete with lights back at his house. We packed a backpack with tequila, Sprite, and flashlights, grabbed the two best bicycles, and set off for the mysterious building. Upon arrival, it was quite dark. We hid our bikes in the cornfield and, with the remaining light, peered into a window inside. Something resembling a person's head hunched over in a pew caught our attention. It seemed motionless, debating whether it was a mannequin or a drunk homeless person. We ventured to the front door. It was boarded shut, and Carter playfully tugged it to no avail. I suggested checking other windows as we approached the window with the best view. Our flashlight revealed that whatever was there earlier was gone. This intensified our bet, with Carter arguing it was a mannequin and me convinced it was a person. The tension escalated when we spotted a man inside the building, standing near the window. We sprinted back to the cornfield, but couldn't find our bikes. The situation grew more intense when we heard a door slam and the eerie stillness of the night in the cornfield. Carter heard someone in the field, and when that presence ceased, we crouched down. Terrified, Carter asked me which way we left the bikes, but we heard rustling in the crops. Panicking, we fled the cornfield, running through the dark woods to reach the road. We were relieved when Carter's dad picked us up. Back at his house, we learned about a potential squatter in the church-like building. The following day, with his father and a gun in tow, we returned to the church and retrieved our bikes. As we prepared to leave, we glimpsed the man again, watching us from a window. Carter's dad, visibly disturbed, urged us to leave. We did, heading to a barbecue place, still haunted by the unsettling encounter. Story 2. The scream in the night. On a farm with my brother and his wife, we shared responsibilities in both the busy and off-seasons. However, the off-seasons often left me feeling lonely. This particular story took place in early October, just before our last harvest. My brother Joe, his wife, and I usually spent the off-season together, but that night they were away. This night was like any other, with the windows open to let in the refreshing October breeze. Suddenly, a piercing scream shattered the calm. It was a woman's scream, so high-pitched that it was impossible to determine if it was a teen or an adult. I jumped from my recliner and grabbed my rifle, heading outside. I stood on the front porch, waiting for another scream. When it came, it was coming from the nearby cornfield. I fired a warning shot into the air and called out, not knowing if someone needed help or if it was just teens playing pranks. The situation grew even more puzzling. As I checked the surrounding area, there were no signs of anyone in distress. I called 911, and the police arrived. We searched the area, but found no one. They advised me to call again if I heard another scream and left, returning to the house. I realized I'd forgotten to close the downstairs windows. An hour later, I heard strange noises from downstairs. I grabbed my shotgun, made my way downstairs, and heard footsteps. Someone was in my house. I called my brother, and he assured me that he wasn't home. Fear surged through me slowly. I descended the stairs, aiming to confront the intruder. A figure appeared at the bottom of the stairs. I aimed the shotgun and warned them not to move, but they didn't listen. The person calmly walked away, leaving me shaken. I locked the doors and called my brother, who said the police were on their way. The officers arrived, checked the perimeter, and left one officer on the property for the night. We never saw the intruder again. But during the next day's harvest, I discovered a woman's shoe in the field, leading to an unresolved mystery of who screamed that night. Story 3. A disturbing evening in the cornfield. As kids, my 3 brothers and I shared a vacation home in Hollywood, South Carolina. It was a modest place, but held many cherished memories. It was a long drive from the highway, with nothing but farms surrounding us. In this particular story, I, the second oldest, was about 14, and my brothers range from 12 to 8 years old. We decided to play hide and seek tag in an abandoned property nearby. This place had always intrigued us. It sat on a hill with a small cornfield, yet we'd never seen anyone there. We played our game, and it was my turn to seek. I found my older brother, Tony, quickly, but couldn't locate the other 2. As I searched, I entered the cornfield and heard footsteps. To my shock, I discovered a deformed-looking face staring back at me from the crops. Terrified, I ran out of the field and alerted my brothers. Back at our vacation home, my parents, who were watching a movie, listened to my strange story. My dad was unsure how to react, and my mom forbade us from venturing out past dark, though I desperately wanted to avoid that property. My younger brothers insisted on a game of flashlight tag. When we returned at night, my unease grew. I was seeking this time and ventured into the cornfield with a flashlight. Inside, I heard footsteps, caught a glimpse of a deformed figure, and ran for my life. We never went near that property again. My family sold the vacation home a few years later.